Today we're going to do part unintentional, part 6, we're going to call it, for Project X Haul. I'm still waiting on my wheels. I'm supposed to pick them up tomorrow or the next day. And we were like right at the finish line then. But this company messaged me a while ago and I just wasn't interested before. And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, wait a minute. If you know anything about these trucks, and you know that the radio that they put in them in 2005, they were outdated in 2005, let alone today. So I sent them a message. I said, listen, if it has a backup camera ability and a forward-facing camera ability and navigation, I might be interested. So they sent me the specs on it. I kind of looked it over. And listen, you're going to know as much about this radio as I will by the time the video is done. How good is it? How long does it last? I ain't got a clue. I'll never have a clue. If you want to know how long this is going to last, you'll have to contact whoever buys this truck because they'll be the people who know. But we're going to put it in. It does radio, DVD, navigation, Bluetooth to your phone. Get this. If you have TPS monitors, it can link it to it. You can use your steering wheel controls if you have something more than just this basic truck here. So I opted to get the backup camera as well. Of course, this stuff is made over the pond like every other electronics that we come across. And it's supposed to be a direct fit in this truck, not any special anything. I don't know if we need a wiring adapter possibly, but I think in 2005, we'll probably just do a little bit of splice, cut, solder, you know, heat shrink, all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get this thing open and let's get working on it. I was, you know, like I'm not a radio guy. I don't listen to radio when I'm driving. I like to hear the engine. I like to know what's going on. I could see the navigation would be very helpful. Maybe a few others. It's got a remote, all kinds of inputs. You can put an SD card in this thing. You can download music. Again, you'll know as much about it as I do, or you probably know more. It's a decent looking radio. And if it fits the slot, it's a double DIN. If it fits the slot of the original, then great. I don't know what it's going to take. The original, I think, is screwed into place. This one uses this outside carriage type thing. Locks in the sides here. They make a tool that slides in here to open it up. Looks like it doesn't trim out real well. I guess we'll have to see. Okay, well, let's get inside the Project X Haul and let's get a look and see what it's going to take to put it in. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is pull this bezel off. You can see what I mean about this being an outdated radio from when they put it in. These things come off pretty easy. It's old, so we're going to be kind of careful and not break, hopefully not break any tabs, because they don't make these anymore. On this side, the headlights are hooked in. This crossbar here has to come off. And again, I want to be very gentle because can't buy this stuff anymore. And I don't want to cost myself a broken part just to add a radio. So this is the monitor screen. Just come in the back of this and squeeze that connector, pull that off. And the headlight, get this back far enough to get to the headlight switch. It's always a treat. Oh yeah, it's zip tied in. Fantastic. My favorite. A tilt wheel would be nice. Make that a lot easier. Alright, get this out of the way. Yeah, so typical GM fashion, there's a couple 7mm right here. So it looks like we will have to order some type of thing to slide this in. I messaged them and asked them if it works with this, and they said yes, it does. apparently, when I say it fits this and I don't need anything else, their version of you don't need anything else and mine are completely different. So let me get a socket and get these out. Pretty basic. One plug for each. Interesting. Wonder if that's something to do with U-Haul. What's the deal here with this orange wire going nowhere? Okay, well, I guess that's we've gone as far as we can go. That's a great start. So I'm gonna go ahead and order up a adapter kit. If I got to order the mounting kit, I might as well order the adapter to just plug this in. Even though many times I'll just splice on. It's easy enough to find out what it is. Could probably find a schematic for this, or use a test light, voltmeter. I don't know. Let me look and see. Well, here's a backup camera too. I don't know how many feet this is, but hopefully it's enough to get the camera where I want it. I didn't get a forward-facing camera. They don't have them. They say it's compatible, but they don't have them. So they say you can use about any camera. And there's your little backup camera on that little bitty mount. I'm thinking we're probably going to mount this with double-sided tape where I'm going to put it. That way it can easily be moved without too much difficulty, in case the person who buys the truck wants it somewhere else. All right. I'm going to try and make a bracket out of this old fuel tank I got here. This would be nice to have a plasma table right now. Maybe that makes a little more sense. So that was by far better. Where's the other side I just touched up? You know, it's not cost effective to do this. I could have just ordered the piece, but this is just more practice, and why wouldn't you? As long as it works, that would be worth it. Well, even if it didn't work and I had to start over, it'd still be worth it. Oh, look at that. That will do. Well, I'm happy with my bracket, but I think the fitment of their radio could use a little extra trim here to go around this, make it nicer, but better than what it was, I guess. So rather than buying an adapter, I'm just gonna solder in these wires, and if someone ever takes this out and puts the factory radio back in, they can just cut these wires off that I've soldered in and go right back to the factory connector, or just unplug this and tuck it in the back. But I'll work through it. Now this originally did not have a reverse input for the rear facing camera, so we have to create some type of positive input, being 12 volts, if we want to turn on that camera so we can see it. So I'm probably going to take it off of the accessory, or the ignition probably. Take it off the ignition and then put it on a switch. So if the ignition's on, you can push a button, flip a switch, whatever, and turn the camera on or turn it off. So basically it's not just for backing up. If you're driving down the road and you got something on the hitch hooked up and you want to be able to see it, you can just flip that up and you can monitor your hitch. Alright, we're down to the camera, the backup camera, and the way this thing works is the radio itself has a reverse input, and then it also has the camera here that sends the reverse input backwards. So at the very tail end of the truck, You're supposed to tie your positive and negative into the reverse lights. That powers up the camera, but also tells the radio that you're in reverse. We don't want that. We want it to where if you're driving down the road and you want to look at your camera to see if the coupler is good and everything's hitched together, you can flip a switch or push a button or something and look at that camera. I don't care about it coming on reverse. I can push a button. I'm okay with that. I think the benefit of being able to turn that camera on whenever you want is much better than only being able to have it in reverse. So the way they do this is backwards. So what we have to do is we're going to tie this here. We're going to tie this into our switch. So when you flip the switch, this then will send power to the camera at the back. Now there's also provisions for a front camera. That's what this is, and then there's powers and grounds for the front camera, which we don't have. It'd be nice to have a forward-facing camera. I think all commercial trucks should have it, especially the way people drive and sue people like they do today. So that's where we're at now, and I have to get an adapter for the antenna because it has the small one and this one has the big one. We've got the microphone for the phone, the Bluetooth phone, and the satellite antenna all ran. Everything's in, and there's a bunch of USB hookups down here for other stuff that Justin knows about, and
pretty much
I don't. He said just drop them down here. That's where people will want them. So we'll just zip tie them together or something. So that's next. I gotta go get an adapter for the antenna, and we gotta tie this in. I'm gonna order, I'd like to have like a push button that lights up. So when you push the button once, it lights up and turns on. You push it again, it comes off. That's what I'm gonna try and find now. Well, the longer cord has come in, and we got the adapter to go from the small antenna diameter on the truck to the large antenna diameter on the radio. And here is the push button that I chose, and they had a bunch of stickers inside, like things you could put in there. I don't know, that was the closest I could come up with. Looks like it was even resembled a camera, but whatever. We'll put that right in here. I gotta do a little bit of cleaning up. It's not quite smooth for this, but I chose a diameter that was slightly bigger than what was here so we could clean that up and make it fit nice. Now again, let's talk about the wiring. I am not going to wire this up so the backup camera comes on reverse. It'll be simply on here. You'll have to push that button. That's what it's going to be. Yes, you could do it a million ways. Yes, you could do a relay. Yes, you could put in a diode. Yes, you could do all these things. I just choose not to. If somebody wants to do something different, they can do what they like. So without further ado, let's get this stuff out and get to work. I guess we'll start with the antenna adapter being the simplest. Antenna's over here on this side, which is weird because the other one's over here. I guess that doesn't really matter. And we'll plug this in. Takes care of that. Now we have to take the original cord they sent and do away with it and pull it out of here. So this is the new cord. You can see it has that wire run through it. This actually doesn't go this way. It goes this way inside this cord, so that you can actually turn the reverse camera on from using the rear backup lights actually tagging into the rear. That's what that's for. We also need to power. That'll power up the camera, but we're going to use it the other way. So not a big deal. It'll be all right. So this is the camera line. So we're going to go ahead and put it in lube. So hopefully it doesn't rub on anything. And then we'll zip tie it all the way back with the factory wiring. I ordered one long enough to go the other side of the truck and then follow the factory wiring back. So that way everything's the same, in the same place, and a good place to zip tie it to. As you can see, it's going to take me a minute or two because there's a good bit of wire. Anyways, we'll get it in there. I'm just going to mount this back here with double-sided sticky tape because more than likely, whoever gets this truck will likely put this in a different place anyways. So I don't want it up above. I don't even like that. But like I said, the new owner can do what they want. If I put holes in this, you know, like drill holes and thread them, I could do something different, but I'm just not gonna. I got a protective film on that camera. Get that off. Now we just need to hook this up. So this is going to be our video feed, and this is the power and the ground. So the power, we're going to use what's in there and tie those two together, and the ground, we're just going to go right here to this clamp that I have here, and we'll ground it off of that wire loom clamp bolt. So I'm hooking everything together, and then I'm running heat shrink over the connection. So try and get that to the center, and that's the RCA jack. Probably a little off center there. We gotta be careful, because you're trying to center this, you end up separating the two. Just want to make sure they're in all the way. You can see how it wrinkles. That tells me it's not in all the way. I gotta keep working it. It is now. Okay. Now we'll just heat shrink all of this. Give it its best possible chance at lasting. Okay, let's see what this does. Hey, look at that. Well, that's the only bad thing, is upside down. The camera's upside down. Yeah, I'll turn it around. Well, I moved some brackets around on the camera, and now I've got it to where it points down good. And it's a pretty clear picture. The only problem is it's black and white for some reason. I have unplugged, plugged in, disconnected, ran jumpers, tried a different cord. It's just black and white, which makes no sense because it wasn't black and white to begin with. So when you turn the camera on, it mutes the radio, which doesn't really bother me, but it might somebody else. But you can see the whole entire hitch there, and that would be my intention. You're backing up, that just makes it so much easier, especially if there's a dump bed or something on this truck. And I was able to get it set at a place I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not super thrilled with it, but you know, it'll do. I have a feeling somebody will move this if they put a dump bed on. So I think we're just going to leave that. And my wife's going to clean up that instrument cluster before we put the bezel on. That'll be next. It comes with this remote. Gotta put some batteries in it, but okay, I guess that's another thing done. All right, so we're all done with the radio install. You know, my wife's got the interior all cleaned up in the truck now, and the backup camera's working good. And I like the idea of having on the switch. That way, you know, if you're driving down the road, again, you can watch what's going on. You can adjust that and look at your trailer or your load or whatever you want. It just takes loosen a couple screws, and you can tilt the camera. So I think it's going to be a benefit. But anyways, I'll leave a link in the description if anybody's looking for one of these radios. It's made by One Stereo, is who the supplier is. Typically, I don't do this in any of my builds. And when this company contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested, I thought it was a good fit for this. I don't usually do this because people are so particular about their radios and stuff. It's usually not a very good investment for me personally to do an aftermarket radio. But in this case, you know, obviously it works. So that being said, that's it for this. We're going to finish it up. We got a little bit more to go on this truck and we're done.